never tweet it cause it's me up in the speaker. Knocking the mama see the top down like a player. And the sound up in your ears, it is the dopest rhyme say. I run a game like a cheater. So it is somewhat inevitable that when you experience a certain amount of fame or notoriety, as soon as your star starts to rise, what follows? A field of imitators. Imitation being the sincerest form of flattery, and also people are trying to cash in on something that you started. The world of viral video appears to be absolutely no different. Sweet Brown, otherwise known as Ain't Nobody Got Time for That, now has competition. An apartment building caught fire in Tulsa this past Sunday night just gone by and left 100 people without power or heat. Luckily, no one was hurt, but one of the residents gave an unbelievable interview to local news afterwards. It is like a sequel, like a follow-up to Sweet Brown's Ain't Nobody Got Time for That video. Her name is Michelle Dobine. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She starts slow, but be patient because this pays off. Oh, it pays off.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire. Not today.
Now, as brilliant as that sounds.
Not today.
Not today. Funkhauser, can you maybe grab that piece of audio and just section off not today?
Please do that.
Please, so we can use that for future reference. As great as that is to listen to, let's just hear it again.
My friend came to the door.
As great as this is to listen to, the visual even better.
And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire. Not today.
See, there you go. Did you grab it that time, Funkhauser? Not today, that part?
I got it.
As great as that is, as absolutely incredible as that is, it is even better with the visual. Do yourself a favor, head over to realradio.fm. I've got it up on my blog. I think the Monsters have it on their blog as well. But if you only watch one video this week, one viral piece of content, I would advise that you watch that one. Also, I would advise, okay, maybe I wouldn't limit it to one. Did you see the video for David Bowie's final song?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Absolutely haunting stuff. Only because, his producer, Tony Visconti, who he'd been with for years and years, has produced. And do you realize this new album, Black Star, that he put out was his 27th?
Oh, wow.
Absolutely crazy.
What a body of work, man.
Well, yeah, no. And just one of those people that, it's interesting. David Bowie, at age 69, had made 27 albums. And look, fame obviously facilitated a lot of the creative process, but you get the impression that this is a guy who absolutely would have created that body of work had he been famous or not. Some people are just driven to create. They have no choice. It's not like they've decided to do something. It's just like it won't be a life of happiness if that doesn't happen. Is somebody shuffling papers in the background? All I hear is this.
We're getting the news together. That's
okay, all right.
Very newsworthy event.
Oh, wow, we're actually using paper today?
Yeah, we went old school this time and got some paper.
Got some paper printed today. You know, it's funny because people are always like, you want me to print that out for you? I'm like, no, tree killer, eco-terrorist. I've got it on my phone or on a computer or any number of places that don't involve pieces of paper with newsprint that'll get all over my fingers. But a lot of people still like that kind of thing. But, yeah, man, if you do yourself a favor, watch that one piece of video of our friend dealing with an apartment fire. But also, if you haven't seen it yet, again, this is on my blog up at realradio.fm. David Bowie's last video was released just 3 days before he lost his secret 18-month battle with cancer. According to his producer, David knew he was dying and wanted to leave it as a parting gift for fans. And it is absolutely haunting how he is days from death. He knew this. And he was still focused on making great art. I mean, the video is not sort of like a tearful, wussy goodbye to people. It's artistic expression. It is him in his state of knowing that he is on the precipice of the end of his life and making a video that reflects that. And it is perfect in its own way. It's for a song called Lazarus. And please, 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 absolutely do yourself a favor and check that out. What is the title of today's show, Funkhauser?
The Lemon Murder.
Not the bird.
The Lemon Murder. There's a reason why today's show is titled The Lemon Murder, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Also, we are joined by our former intern. Concept 714 is in the building. He was our intern for about 2 weeks, and then he went on to be the host of the #1 hip-hop podcast on the internet, Wake the Flock Up, which you can check out at waketheflockup.net. We will catch up with him in just a little bit. If you want to win $1,000, well, you can do that every single hour on Real Radio 104.1. Get more info on the keywords that we give out every single hour at the top of the hour at realradio.fm.
Let's start the show. Hot 2, hot 3, hot AC from your radio live and uncut. Tonight, you're cutting loose and having fun. Cause that's my job, and my job's about to get done. Yeah, that's how I'm operating. And I'll thank motherfucker for cooperating. When I say, put your hands up, touch the sky. If you're really feeling really good, then wave them from side to side. It's time for a little rebellion. And the Italian in front of you is telling you the things you gotta do. Check 1, 2, is this thing live? Cause it's time for the party and the first stage dive. Ho, whoa, ho, whoa. Let's start the show. 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 Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio.
Every day you're going and working, running that rat race at that pace in that place. We'll leave a bad taste for anyone, everyone working day after day. So buddy, I gotta say, for you, there's gotta be a better way, yeah. And you do what they told ya. Company man, feel it, a mindless little soldier. How can you live like that and maintain your composure before it's begun? Your life's already freaking over, yeah. I do what I
So, Concept.
Yo,
Did you watch the Vikings game the other day?
I did.
Football.
I did watch it.
They lost. They found an entirely new way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory when their kicker missed a 27-yard field goal. Here's Conan on that. I said, here's Conan on that. You know, what's the point of... there we go. No, still not going to work. Is it going to be... Wow. It had been a week. I was like happy and sunshiny, and now the manic homicidal tendencies are coming back because the freaking internet's not working around here. No, just doing major market radio and a syndicated show.
Craziest thing I saw, the Minnesota Vikings lost their playoff game yesterday when their kicker missed a 27-yard field goal. 27-yard field goal, yeah. The kicker is now in an undisclosed location, waiting to meet with Sean Penn. And then...
You see that? Sean Penn really did help get El Chapo captured. Did you guys hear the story?
But hold on.
Are you familiar with this?
Did it work out to where he set it up so that he would get captured, or did he get captured because he set it up?
Well, all right. So it really does look like Sean Penn's interview with El Chapo, Mexican drug lord El Chapo, escaped Mexican drug lord El Chapo, really did help lead to his recapture last week. For one thing, authorities were watching Sean from the moment he touched down in Mexico last October, and there are surveillance photos to prove it. Plus, an unidentified Mexican official told the Associated Press that Penn's visit did lead them to El Chapo, and that has some people speculating that Sean should be worried about some sort of retribution from El Chapo's people. So
he was in cahoots to catch him. We don't know.
We're not entirely sure if he was in cahoots, but he was easy to follow and easy to track. And you know what? It really goes to show that you know what led to El Chapo's recapture? His ego. Like, it always goes to show, man, some people are just in it for different reasons. Like, I think ultimately people want fame, they want notoriety, they want a name for themselves, no matter what it is. Like, if you're an escaped felon, do you do an interview with, like, a movie star? No, you do not. You stay in freaking hiding and try and live your life. But the fact that Sean Penn was able to get an interview with El Chapo really says something about the human condition and why we do the things that we do, or at least why El Chapo does the things that he does. You know, it's just like, it's not enough to be, free. Have your freedom. Not enough to have been like this drug lord that gets locked up and then miraculously finds himself free again. No, he's got to have a certain level of notoriety that he's got to maintain. He must become famous, and it was his ego. He tripped over his own ego on his way back to prison. It's crazy, and it really is indicative of the motivations of people. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess El Chapo probably had enough cash to last him forever and ever, amen, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about the Mexican drug lord business, but I hazard a guess that El Chapo had considerable financial resources, and it's just like, you have your freedom. As a criminal, you have your freedom. You've escaped from jail. You're out. You're probably doing business of some sort again, and you've got more money than you'll ever need or anyone will ever need, and you risk so much by even coming up for air, taking a peek around, and yet you're willing to do a celebrity interview. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, and a really, really interesting insight into the mind of the human being. I mean, specifically his mind, but just in general. It just flies in the face of anything that makes any kind of sense, and he went ahead and did it and paid the price for it. Did you see the picture of El Chapo after he got booked again, like the new mugshot?
Yeah, he doesn't look he doesn't look happy. That's
no.
for sure.
He doesn't look happy, but like my hands would be shaking if I was the guy taking that mugshot, because he looks at it was just like
Well, I think the most shocking thing about this is how much of a fan El Chapo was of Fast Times at Richmond High. Like, are you really people? That's the overlooked factor, I think, in this story. Really, you think it translates well in Spanish?
Apparently it does. Yeah. How do you say, like, totally brah in Spanish concept?
How dare you? You're assuming I speak Spanish because I'm Hispanic. And I am insulted, even though I do speak Spanish, and you are
right. Yeah, no, I'm assuming you speak Spanish because we've had this conversation before, and I know you speak Spanish.
You know what? I'll get back to you. I'll look it up, and I'll let you know.
Apparently, you don't speak Spanish that well.
Pequeño español.
Yeah.
Un poquito.
Solamente un pequeño. Solamente las palabras malas. All right, then.
Biblioteca. Me llamo español.
Okay. Your name is Spanish?
What?
Moving on.
All right.
Not the
Let's get into why this show is called The Lemon Murder, or what do we call it? I forget.
The Lemon Murder.
The Lemon Murder. Somebody murdered someone over a lemon. True. Now, I enjoy citrus fruit as much as the next person, but I don't think I'd ever get homicidal over it. How did this all happen? Why did this play out? Because we tackle the big issues on this show. We'll talk about it when we get back. We'll also go over the events of today in our segment, My Witness News, in no way, shape, or form fair. Certainly not balanced. Guest read by Concept 714. And we'll talk about the unbelievable error in judgment that the New York Times exercised yesterday. What was it? You'll find out next.
Well, it's a new one. Here I come again, coming again, taking it back to the place where I'm picking up the pen. And before I started, it's already a killer. When you know that you're good, I gotta say that it's a thriller. Hey, I do it my way, bitch. Taking advantage of the gift, we gotta make it and pay to play. So what do you say, bitch? What do you say? You say that what I did just blew you away. I'm ripping you up, tearing you down, checking it out, making it kick, cause that's what I am all about. I got clout, and I don't have to shout it, but I will cause I can help that I am buzzing about it. Check what I say, I only do it my way.
Like most kids from a privileged white upper middle class suburban background, for a significant portion of his childhood, he was pretty convinced he was down. AD on the radio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away.
Alrighty then. Why is today's show called The Lemon Murder? Because somebody killed somebody over a lemon. What about citrus fruit made somebody homicidal? We'll get to it a little later on in the show. Right now, though, let's take a look at the events of today in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair. Certainly not balanced. Guest read by our former intern, Concept 714, host of the #1 hip-hop podcast on the internet, Wake the Flock Up. How are you today, Concept, and what is going on in the world?
I am well, sir. Good morning, world listeners out there.
Yeah. So
and good evening, by the way.
Oh, and good evening, depending on where
to those. Yeah.
Are we on mountain time?
What time you wake
up?
up?
What does that mean?
As Funkhauser said in the past, F mountain time. Nobody knows what the hell that stuff is anyway, so watch. Right. I've just angered a mountain time listener. You know, you could
big old beard.
No, they also hate it too.
Flannel.
It is exhausting. It is exhausting trying to take into account everybody's feelings. And I do my very best. I really do. But sometimes you never know where offense is going to come from. I made fun of myself once for leaving the Christmas season not in the best shape. I referred to myself as a big fat lard ass, fat-filled, bacon-wrapped, bacon-eating, pre-diabetic fatty, ready to lose a foot because of delicious food. Diabetics lost their freaking minds. So, look, it's one thing to say you're insensitive or that's not politically correct, and I kind of ain't nobody got time for that. I will sweet brown those people. But if someone genuinely seems upset, then I respond to that. I'm not a cold, unfeeling idiot. I'm aware that I have made mistakes in judgment. I make them literally every day, all of the time. So I'm willing to go, all right, well, maybe I should treat the subject of diabetes a little bit more sensitively. So I did the other day, talked about the fact that Rob Kardashian So that side of it, that was fine. But I did mention, and I really treated it sensitively with kid gloves on the air on one of the stations that I'm on, where I was just like, hey, he's got diabetes. Doctors say that that can be managed with diet and exercise, and let's be real here. I actually have friends with diabetes that weren't offended by my previous humor with relation to it, but I was like, I got friends and family and loved ones that deal with diabetes, and it's no laughing matter. So hopefully Rob Kardashian manages to manage it with diet and exercise. Good luck, buddy. Was how I treated it on the air. I got a screaming angry email from a listener who was just like, who said, what was it? You have to go back on the air and clarify that it's type 2 diabetes. As someone that suffers from type 1 diabetes, I am sick of everybody telling me that I can manage my condition with diet and exercise. That idiot is the person making poor life choices with regard to what they eat and how they go through life. They're fat and they're lazy, and that's why they have diabetes. I have no choice. I'm not fat. I'm not lazy. And everybody assumes that I was. I was like, wow, inner diabetic fat shaming. Like type 1 diabetes person wanted the world to know that they are not a big fat, lard ass, fat filled fatty that they think people with type 2 diabetes are. I was like, you really, really can't win some of the time. You can't. It is impossible. What is going on in the world?
With that being said,
yesterday the New York Times ran an article that started with the line, "It's a good time to be David Bowie."
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Yeah.
Bad timing though. Oh.
Yeah. These people get paid as journalists to do this sort of thing. But yeah, the New York Times ran an article that started with the line, "It's a good time to be David Bowie." No word yet from the paper's new editor, Steve Harvey. Go on.
Anthony Hopkins says he never should have played Hannibal Lecter more than once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I guess in the end, perhaps from a professional and dramatic standpoint, he was biting off more than he could chew.
Easy. Hey, man, Mexican authorities are demanding Sean Penn apologize for his interview with El Chapo. Okay, so that kind of breaks it down, right? That they didn't know that they weren't working together. They demand that he apologize for his interview with El Chapo.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was indiscreet. You got to remember, like, authorities, like, there's got to be all these different branches of authorities that are after El Chapo. And if you are following Sean Penn to El Chapo, there's a good chance that if you're following Sean Penn to El Chapo, there's a very good chance that you are perhaps discreet about it. Like, you don't necessarily let every look, I don't mean to I make no assumptions about Mexican authorities, but I have heard that some of them are corrupt.
What?
No, shut your mouth.
This. Yeah, I know. Ay caramba. But I've heard that some Mexican authorities are, how dare you?
Knock me
Mexican
over with
authorities, a feather. Are corrupt. So I would imagine that perhaps that some branches of the Mexican authorities might have been in on it, while others not so much, and they're demanding that Sean Penn apologize for his interview. Yeah, kind of like, and I could see why they would. You know, in theory, he's kind of glorifying a notorious drug lord that has probably got all kinds of blood on his hands and is definitely a lawbreaker. You know, you find out that Sean Penn, big American movie star, comes to interview this guy. You go, all right, well, that's how we get up in this world. And I can understand that Mexican authorities have a problem with him and wanting to interview El Chapo. But Mexican authorities can get in line, because I'm demanding an apology for everything since Fast Times at Ridgemont High, specifically Gangster Squad.
Oh, God. I have a theory. Would you care to hear it? Okay.
Yes.
My theory
always.
is Sean Penn is coming to Mexico. It would be terrible if, like, he would get kidnapped or assaulted or something, right? So that's why the authorities were keeping an eye on Sean Penn. And he just happens to lead them. Because Sean Penn's not going to announce to the world, hey, I'm going to interview El Chapo, right? So what happened was, hey, Sean Penn, is coming to Mexico. Make sure he makes it okay, makes it back okay. So he just inadvertently led them to El Chapo. That's my theory.
I could see that. That hangs together for me. I think that sounds somewhat legit. Yeah, good. All right. Well, go on. What else?
Okay, so Miss Columbia is going to appear on the Steve Harvey Show.
Yeah. Yep. Miss Columbia. And apparently she wouldn't... Yeah, apparently it's Miss Columbia who straight up refused to talk to Steve Harvey. Like, just wouldn't do it.
Really?
Like, refused. Yeah. He reached out to her to apologize, because Miss Columbia, if you're keeping track of this sort of thing, was the one who he was like, yeah, you are Miss Universe. No, you're not. Crown has to come back, I'm afraid. Too bad, so sad. I'm sorry. So apparently, yeah, she's gonna be in the hot seat, so to speak. But only if she can find a pair of sunglasses strong enough to prevent her from being blinded by the shininess of his suit. That guy wears shiny suits. I'll never understand the shiny suit saying. Shiny, wow. Talk professionally for a living. Can you tell? This is why we make the big bucks. Literally hundreds of dollars a year. The shiny suit thing. Try saying that even one time fast. Why do they wear shiny suits? Concept? What do you think?
My guess would be, see the buttons? I think in case he gets lost, like in the desert or an island, he can use it as like reflectors of the sun and call for help. You know what I mean? Oh, you know how in the movies they always use like the nerdy guy's glasses to start a fire?
Right, sure. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Hey, the man is well prepared except when it comes to his job.
Right. Like, I gotta say, I really admire the way he dealt with that, where he was like, I made a mistake, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think he did the most professional thing he could do in the situation. And we've all made mistakes.
But I don't understand the mistake.
I've never made that one. I've never made a mistake as big as that one as a broadcaster.
Right.
I've said, like, being on, like, multiple stations, I've said the wrong name of the station that I'm on. I've said, like, Rock 105.3 when I've been on the Buzz and vice versa. And I think once when I was soliciting a phone call, I gave out the wrong station phone number. So, like, people from Houston were making the phone ring in San Diego as they called in trying to win whatever the hell tickets we were not giving away in San Diego. And it was this whole big mess. And that's the biggest mistake I've ever made as a broadcaster. And that was just, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been
so far.
So far. Oh, no, there's time. And,
the day's still young.
I make lots of mistakes. A lot of the time, I am not, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. And, like, I think the thing is, like, also, I get paid nothing to do what I do in the grand scheme of things compared to what Steve Harvey gets paid. So if you're getting paid And apparently Steve Harvey's Miss Universe contract was pretty freaking chubby. Like, he's supposed to be doing it forever and ever on Amen, and he is getting paid out the yang to do so.
What is the fascination with Steve Harvey? I know we're on iHeart, and I apologize.
Yeah, he might like bust through the doors right now.
What is the fascination with this man? I don't understand his...
My fascination with him? Or just the public's
fascination with Steve Harvey. Like, why is he on everything? Why is it... I mean, what's happening here?
You want to take this one, Funkhauser?
No, thank you.
He's no more talented than, like, Dunkelman. Remember Dunkelman? You know,
what, the guy that quit American Idol?
Did he quit American Idol?
Oh, yeah, no, he quit. He was like, nah, this will never amount to anything. I don't want to share the spotlight with Seacrest.
This show will never amount to anything. Yeah. Okay.
Well, he quit. He quit. He will forever be known as the broadcaster that quit American Idol after the first season. I think partway through the first season. I don't know. I do know this, though. Steve Harvey... Look, he is an incredibly hard worker. Mm-hmm. I'm going to guess that, when stand-up started to work for him, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been Steve Harvey, but I think there was Steve Harvey and what's the guy who took a kidney from his wife and then had
George Lopez.
Cheated on her? George Lopez. I'm pretty sure Steve Harvey and George Lopez
really
were both
happened?
stand-up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
He took a kidney from his wife and then cheated on her. Mm-hmm. Classy individual.
And then divorced her.
And then divorced her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think both Steve Harvey and George Lopez started as broadcasters, and then their stand-up took off. So they were both like sort of radio guys. They were both radio guys that went on to do stand-up. And so going back to broadcasting afterwards. Not that big a deal. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I would hazard a guess that it's Steve Harvey going, hey man, get me this, get me that, get me the other thing. I would imagine that he achieved a certain amount of notoriety, and then he was like, I need a game show. I need to be the host of this, that, and the other thing. He is unbelievably hardworking, and I find that people that are that many places all at once tend to make their own opportunities. So I think it's less to do. Yeah. I think it is less to do with the world going, we're fascinated with Steve Harvey, as opposed to Steve Harvey going, I'm going to get out there, grind, and I'm going to turn this stand-up thing into as much as I possibly can.
I respect that. I'm kind of with that. Plus he achieved success later in his life, so he kind of has that I'm going to hold on to as much as I can mentality and make this last as long as I can kind of thing. So
sure,
getting paid, I understand.
Yeah,
someone else getting paid. Mel Gibson is dating a 24-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Getting paid?
Well.
Getting paid? Yeah. Still the 24-year-old thing in his life that he loves the most, probably a bottle of scotch at this stage in the game. What happened with him and Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes? I did not watch. What went on there?
Funk, do you have any info on that? I didn't catch it.
Oh, man, he said something, and then they came out and said something. They bleeped it. And it was all dumb.
Well, there you go.
The end.
The end.
Concrete details.
All right. One last piece of news before we get into what we what we ruefully refer to as the meat of the show.
Here we go. Will Ferrell is part owner of a Los Angeles soccer team.
Ah, yeah. Speaking of guys that do game shows, That's why Drew Carey took The Price is Right. He wanted to be part owner of a soccer team, and they offered him so much money. He was like, all right, there's my soccer team money. But yeah, Will Ferrell, I think, invested in a new Los Angeles soccer team because, well, he simply couldn't turn down the opportunity after they disguised it as a crappy script.
With puppies in my face and Dad gotta join the human race. Time for a yawn and a stretch and a walk, you see.
Now, more AD on the radio.
Hello?
savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD. And can't nobody rock a party better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior. Delivering it with your musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD. And can't nobody rock a party better than me.
Now, more AD on the radio.
Back once again, the ill behavior. Delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD. And can't nobody rock a party better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior. Delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD. And can't nobody rock a party better than me.
Funkhauser, I feel like this is the time of year where you should be going to conventions in Las Vegas. Don't you usually go to stuff in Vegas this time of year?
Well, I was supposed to go to CES this year, but it's too close to New Year's. So that's happening like right now.
That's like the Consumer Electronics Show, right?
Yeah, and then on the 20th, I'm going to the AEE.
What's that?
The
Adult Entertainment Expo?
Yeah, buddy. Ba, 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 ba.
Do you need a road dog? Do you need
I might need you to fill in here for me.
a roadie?
No.
Groupie?
I already have one.
Okay.
She's
When you
Someone carrying your bags for you?
Yes, no, I already have bag carriers.
Okay.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
You know.
when you go to Vegas, Funkhauser, have you ever been to the Las Vegas Hooters?
Yeah. In and out.
Did you eat there?
There's
Did
a
you consume the
hotel.
delicious food?
There's a whole hotel.
A hotel,
Yeah.
Hooters. It's not what you
I don't know
think.
if you,
It is
Yeah.
definitely
I don't know if
the
not what
beds
you-
are shaped like regular beds. I was really
I don't know if you-
disappointed.
caught it or not, but Andrew Norelli had a thing or two to say about that.
There's a Hooters in Vegas. I like Hooters, but if there's one place Vegas doesn't need, it's a venue that features boobs and sports. That's available everywhere. Vegas needs a place called Flats where you can get a break from boobs. Oh, can we go to Flats, please, for 5 minutes? So I can get a salad and look somebody in the face for 5 minutes, please. Just exhausted. Vegas is just it's such a weird place. It's a ripoff. I mean, it's a Red Bull was $7. How is a Red Bull $12 less than my hotel room? How's that happening? That just doesn't make me feel good. And whenever things are that expensive, I just instantly go into white trash mode, and I just go, fine. Then I'm spending nothing. You know what? I'll make my own Red Bull with iced tea and Sudafed. So I'm out. You blew it, Vegas. You could have had $4. You got greedy. Now you get nothing.
You ever see those people going into casinos that have food at casinos is really, really pricey. Like everything is wildly overpriced for any number of reasons. One is kind of like airport food, where it's just like, where else are you going to go for food? Tuna fish sandwich, $17. We think that's fair, to quote the great Jerry Seinfeld. But the other thing is, I think they want to be able to treat you to stuff like, oh, you won? Well, have dinner on us. And it's like, a steak, but they say it's $150 worth of food. And so a lot of people, have you ever seen those people at hotel room check-in in Vegas where they have coolers? They come with a half a fridge full of food for a 3-day trip, and they've got sort of like a rolly cart with various coolers and sodas and snacks on it, and you know that they plan to sit in their room and munch on that for the next couple of days. Have you run into that as you've been in Vegas or gone into any casino, either of you?
I've been that person. I've been that person on numerous occasions. Are you kidding me? Dude, you're driving up to Vegas, you bring yourself a cooler, and you fill it up with ice and beer and cold sandwiches, and you just have a blast. Yes, many a time have I done that.
Well, let me just be the first to say I think that's a great and economically sound idea, and I bear absolutely no judgment toward anyone that does that ever at all. Let's move right along to the story of a guy killing a friend for showing him a lemon. What? I hear you say? What is the title of today's show, Funkhauser?
The Lemon Murderer.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
If your friend told you that they had a serious phobia of fruit, you'd probably laugh in his face and start planning a prank to bombard him with that fruit. Let this, my friend, be your cautionary tale. There's a guy in Izmir, which is in Turkey, who's been identified as, having a serious fear of lemons. Not sure why, not sure how.
There you go.
We're not sure why, we're not sure how, but he has a phobia of lemons, and he takes it unbelievably seriously. Coworker of his thought it was ridiculous, though, so he recently decided to grab a lemon and show it to this guy, whose name is Mo, as a joke. Either of you guys have phobias of any form, any description?
Tangerines.
Phobic of anything?
Gross.
I'm allergic to tomatoes.
You are?
Really?
Yeah, fresh tomatoes. I can't eat pico de gallo or anything that has fresh tomatoes. I can't do. I could do ketchup and stuff like that, but not regular.
What about
tomatoes.
delicious pizza? Can you have tomato sauce on stuff?
I think once it's been processed and whatever, it's whatever.
Yeah, he just can't eat healthy food.
Yeah, that's
right. Oh,
that's why I told my wife, can't eat greens, can't eat vegetables.
Are you serious?
No,
no,
just tomatoes.
Okay.
No, tomatoes.
Just
really.
Tomatoes.
I can't do that.
That's too bad. I've actually run into this before. Mm-hmm. Some friends of mine will pick all the tomatoes off their food because
they're not that good, anyways. Kind of watery.
Love tomatoes.
And
my God, I love
you
tomatoes.
You ever leave a tomato in a
good.
burger? Are you kidding me? It's all soggy and gross. No.
Well, you got to get a good one. Yeah, a lousy tomato is no good whatsoever.
Right,
but fresh tomatoes, oh my gosh, they're the bestie best. But I know exactly what you're talking about when you get those ones that aren't quite red and they're kind of mealy and they don't have a lot of flavor to them, and those are disgusting. And you might as well not have them on your burger, but. Yeah, I know a lot of people that have that where tomato does it make the roof of your mouth super itchy? Do your gums swell up and stuff?
Well, it's not too drastic. I don't need an EpiPen on me, but my tongue will get really dry and also my mouth will get itchy and it'll last for 2 days. I can even tell when people have taken the tomato out of something and then given it to me. Because as soon as I bite it, I go, oh, this had tomato in it. Yeah, but I took it out because I remember. Yeah, but tomato juice.
Not the day.
That's exactly what I say.
That's exactly how you feel about it. Well, so you don't actually have a phobia of tomatoes. You feel a little unwell when you have them. This is not the same thing.
Oh, okay.
But
I have murdered someone over that, though.
Have you phobias about anything?
Bears? Being attacked.
People. Other people. Crazy people. That's my biggest fears. You. All you out there. You hear me?
That's a fear, and that's a well-founded fear. I have a phobia. I have a legit phobia, one that actually sort of interferes with my daily life. And I'll share that with you when we get back. And we'll also talk about the lemon murder. I think you see where this is going. Thank you so much for hanging out. Tweet us all at FunkFM, at ADSXE, at Concept714.
H-Town Jam came to the city with a master plan.
Now, someone who everybody wants to punch in the face. AD on the radio.
Cause you know you love the sound. Rock the radio, 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 with D on the radio, the radio, the radio, rock 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 the radio, with D on the radio, the radio, the radio.
Funkhauser, do you have the dun 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 music ready?
Yes, I do.
All right. If you're just joining us now, forget you heard that part of the conversation and pick up here. The name of today's show is... The Lemon Murderer. Why? Well, like we were saying earlier, a guy in Izmir, Turkey, his name's Mo, has a serious fear of lemons. We're not sure exactly why, we're not sure how, but it's a phobia that he takes very seriously. A coworker of his thought it was a ridiculous phobia to have, though, so he decided to grab a lemon and show it to this guy, Mo, as a joke. And when he did, Mo went crazy. He went effing crazy. He ran to his truck, he grabbed a rifle, he shot the guy, who died at the hospital 4 hours later.
Wow.
Mo told the police, quote, "I didn't have the intention to kill him. I just wanted to scare him after the lemon joke he made. I am so sorry." It's the lemon, you see. I cannot stand the sight of them. They make me crazy. And he's facing murder charges, but it looks as though he might be able to sort of like get it reduced to, I don't know, he might be able to use some sort of temporary insanity charge because he has legit fear of lemons. And that might sort of get him off a murder charge and get him in for something a little bit lesser. Hey, did you know that a woman, if she kills you, if your girlfriend kills you, Funkhauser?
Yeah.
And she can prove that it was lady time, she can get the charge reduced from murder to manslaughter. What does manslaughter means? It means it's not your fault, but you killed someone, so you still have to go to jail.
Man.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah. Fair mind. Again, like I never want to appear to be insensitive to a female condition that I think a lot of women get angry about. Idea. Circle that week on the calendar so we can get the hell out of Dodge because, you know, I don't want to be in the crossfire of that. And I've said this openly to women before, and it did not go over well. No, it didn't. They're like, really? It's because of my monthly lady time. It's because I've been blessed with the power of reproduction. It's because of that your underwear didn't make it into the hamper. That's an interesting one. And it's like, ladies, I feel for you. I really do, because guys are idiots. Me, Concept, Funkhauser, we are morons. There's no two ways about it. And we do stupid stuff all the time because we are men. We leave the cap off things, from toothpaste to food. We leave our underwear lying in the middle of the floor. We are just not hygienic. We are fat, hairy, sweating, farting things that are parked in front of the television set, drinking beer, watching sports, and then feeling as though we are God's freaking gift. We understand the strains and the stresses that go with having us on the menu. If you are a heterosexual female, we are your only option. I feel terrible for you.
Preach on, brother.
But here's the thing. America. Like, I get it. I absolutely get it. And I think what that time of the month does is, you know, all that stuff that you spend the other 3 weeks out of every 30 days tolerating, like the saints that you are, just your patience runs out during that 1 week of time. And it is that 1 week of time that I would like to remove myself from the area of destruction, go elsewhere, so I don't pointlessly upset you during a difficult time with all my manly behaviors. Yep, that's how I choose to frame it up. Does that sound good? Does that sound like something that will stop me from getting into trouble, Funkhauser? Yeah.
Nah, you're already in trouble.
Yeah, you're backpedaling pretty good, bro. So
thank you very much. Yeah. Anyways, this guy's facing murder charges. So neither one of you guys actually have a real phobia, though. I guess it would seem.
No,
No, dude. I mean, I'm afraid of like heights and
What, everyone's
dragons and aliens, outer space.
Jews.
The fear
Yeah,
of
I'm with you.
impending death.
Just your
Whoa, whoa,
normal.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Elevators.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Escalator
Concept, what did you
teeth.
say you're afraid of?
Huh?
What did you say you were afraid of?
Oh, I said nothing.
No, what did you say you're
Do I
afraid
have
of?
to rewind it? Hold on a second. Let's go figure it out.
It seems like that rewind would take us.
I
like,
think you
to
went
the-
too far.
Yeah, to the beginning of the show.
Wait, what did you say you were afraid of?
Shoes.
Shoes?
Yeah, you know, shoes with their weird hats and sideburns. Shoes, just shoes, man.
Shoes with sideburns?
Well,
We shouldn't have rewound that.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't have. I'm afraid of snakes.
there you go. Yeah, sure.
Like, it interferes with my life. I can't watch them on TV. I can't go into the reptile. I've tried
I'm gonna
as
tell you
exposure
something that's
therapy.
going to ruin your life right now, AD. You ready?
Uh,
There are reported, and this is true. I read this the other day. There are reportedly about 10 snakes a year that have been reported to climb up people's toilets.
Yep.
So every year, about 10 people report the fact that a snake has climbed up their toilet.
Wow.
So good luck with that.
I'll be right out.
You realize that
wait,
for the
what is
rest-
that?
For the rest of my life, I will be flushing, then sitting down. That's how I will go through my bathroom situations.
I kid you
moving
not. Since I
forward.
found that out, I look in the toilet first, right, and then like I simultaneously like stand up and look again, and then complete the.
And then you go on Facebook.
and then I go on Facebook and then look once more, and then but that's it's true, AD. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it actually
So think of me
interferes.
next time you're on the toilet.
I do already.
It helps.
Some people have a little stool that they put their feet up on to help get things moving. Is
that true?
We just think of Concept 714.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah. what's it called? The squatty potty, isn't it? Yeah. Apparently,
It's just like a stool?
Apparently, it's a little footstool for your feet, and
not
apparently,
a sponsor.
Yeah, not a sponsor,
We'll
but it's a
bleep
little
it, yeah.
footstool for your feet that apparently organizes your digestive tract in a much more amenable way to the evacuation of your intestines. Yep, true story.
So we've been going wrong this whole time.
Yes, that's what they said.
yes,
What?
yes.
I'm kind of offended by that, actually.
Should have your feet up. I definitely have the phobia of snakes, and it does interfere with my life. I have a hard time watching them on TV. I can't go into reptile houses and stuff like that. I was at the museum the other day, the Natural History Museum, and they had a snake there. I was just like, wow, what the hell is that? We're supposed to see sort of exhibitions of fake dinosaurs and whatnot. We're not supposed to run into actual snakes. That's no good. I didn't appreciate that. And you know what? It's interesting. A buddy of mine is like a professional motivational speaker. He used to work with that Anthony Robbins dude, the late night infomercial guy. Mm-hmm. And one of his big things is curing phobias, so that people that have a fear of snakes can come out on stage and go, look, he cured my phobia. Here I am standing out in the middle of the stage holding a giant boa constrictor. And my friend was like, I can cure you of your snake phobia. That's not a problem. It's a really easy thing to do. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And he was like, well, why wouldn't you? I was like, because my phobia of snakes keeps me safe. There is no upside to being able to stand in the middle of a stage and hold a snake and be comfortable with that. I'm not missing out on any part of life because of my fear of snakes. The only thing that I miss out on is getting bitten by snakes. It keeps me safe. I will now flush before I sit down, thanks to Concept's wonderful nugget of information. And I'm happy being afraid of snakes. I think it is a functional phobia to have. But yeah, man in Turkey with a phobia of lemons killed his friend who showed him one as a joke. I think all of his friends promised that they would never show him a lemon moving forward. They all took a lemon pledge.
You went a long way, but it landed, my friend. Long away for that joke, but it landed. I'll give you that's good.
How much time do we have left, Funkhauser?
Like 4 minutes.
It's 4 minutes. Wow.
Kick us out of here.
More
Before they
poop
kick us
talk.
out.
I'm all for more poop talk.
Actually, no. Let's not talk about that.
What
let's
else
talk
have we
about,
been doing wrong?
Let's talk about snakes,
Okay.
shall we? Let's talk about snakes, and specifically the stealing of a snake. Did you guys catch this? The guy who shoplifted a python.
What? No. How did he do that?
Well, it's interesting. You should ask. Concept. A guy in Portland, Oregon.
That's called a setup.
You guys sound like
called.
a real radio show today.
A guy in Portland, Oregon, went to a pet store this past Friday, just gone by, stole a 2-foot-long ball python, which, just FYI, is not venomous. They get their name because their main defense when they're threatened is to curl up into a ball, not to bite. But it still is a little unsettling because he stole this 2-foot-long ball python by shoving it down his pants.
Ooh.
Now, while they are instinctually programmed to have their main defense, I really that unsettles me. Like, I really don't care for that.
What was that? I don't. Is that under your feet there, Concept?
Yeah,
AD's coming out of your toilet.
I really don't care for that. Despite the fact that this breed of python, their main defense is to curl up into a ball, not to bite. I wouldn't want one anywhere near my junk. The woman who owns the pet shop said, quote, "He's lucky it wasn't feeding day." Feeding days are on Mondays, and they're very, very hungry. Ball pythons eat small animals like mice, gerbils, rats, hamsters, things of that nature. So if this guy's timing had been a little worse, I really don't like that. It might have also gone. It also might have gone for his small piece of manly apparatus.
Not the day.
Yeah, the snake was selling for $200. Snake was selling for $200, and the surveillance cameras got a great shot of the guy putting it down his pants. You want to Google that, Funkhauser? If you want to see the surveillance footage of a guy shoving a python down his pants, you just search for python down pants on YouTube, and
or you can look for snake in pants. And
No.
Be careful.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I got the direct link. It's snake trousers snake. Yeah, that's what it is.
Not the day.
So look, go ahead and type that up.
Yeah, like I said, he stole a $200 snake, and the surveillance cameras got. Hold on, let's have a look at this footage, shall we?
I lived with a snake once.
That's
why AD never visits me.
He's shoving a snake down his pants.
Oh, he's totally doing it.
The alleged thief takes the 2-foot-long python out of its tank and puts the python in his pants. Then he carefully waddles out of the store, as you would if you had a python in your pants. And spectacular.
It's it's definitely worth watching.
Oh dear.
And that marks the first time that I haven't been nervous watching the snake on a screen. He was wearing a hat, so they didn't get a good look at his face, and the cops are still trying to track the guy down.
Jews.
That is all for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll
you guys
do this
sure?
all over again.
You want to say anything else?
No, that's
I've
it.
said enough.
I just hate you so much. It's time for you to go. You know how other times you feel like it's cool.